who took a very decisive kick that just went straight in, took a bounce and went straight in into the goalpost, and that gave Nigeria the decisive 3-point and win that they needed to advance into the finals, and they will be set to face Morocco, who also defeated Ghana in penalty shootouts last night, as Nigeria, that's talking about the Super Falcons of Nigeria, will be taking on the Moroccans in the final, and that will be happening on a Saturday. So we'll see how all of that pans out. Now, how would it be? You know, home court advantage or home advantage is what the Moroccans might have, based on the fact that the competition is going on in Morocco, and then they will have citizens and fans come support them. But what will the Super Falcons need to do to keep their head above water and play beautiful football and also advance and win the 10th championship that they are gunning for? That's talking about Mission X. You know, looking at it now, the Super Falcons haven't lost any of their competition. They've won all of the games and just, you know, had one draw. And the reason why they had that draw was because Justin made a decision to rest most of the key players, but still that didn't, you know, lead, because we had qualified for the quarterfinal stages already, so with the game in hand, so they just needed to rest some players so as everybody would be fit. Now, players have been rested, and then players are still going to rest based on the fact that the final will be coming up on Saturday. So we'll see how interesting this matchup will be, where Nigeria will be taking on Morocco in the final. With Mission X be completed come Saturday, we would find out how that will happen. But still, there is a bit of mix-up that happened earlier in the game. That's if you watched it even from the highlight in the second 45 minutes of the game, the Super Falcons almost, you know, lost the game by having some indecisions and some defensive errors that were made. In the first half, they were supposed to put the game to rest, but still somehow they couldn't be very clinical when it comes to the front of goal. They had opportunities to score more than 2 goals in the first 45 minutes, but they found that hard, either the ball going all the way wide or the ball being played directly to the keeper's hands. But still, we have the 3 points and the win that Nigerians needed, and we'll see how all of that will pan out come Saturday. So moving on, let's talk WAFU B, as Flying Eagles brace for the tough Elephant test, which is going to be happening. Nigerian Flying Eagles are gearing up for a fierce showdown against the Rampart Ivory Coast, as they both sides square off in the final of the WAFU B on the 20 Boys Cup today at the Center of Excellence in Param, Ghana. With the Ivorians enjoying a perfect run in the final, winning all 4 of their previous matches, the task before Coach Aliyu Zubairu's man is clear: stop the young elephants or risks falling at the last hurdle. Ivory Coast opened their campaign with a 2-1 victory over Burkina Faso before seeing off Niger Republic and Togo with a narrow win of 1-0 and 2-0 respectively. In Sunday's semi-final, they showed grit to come from behind and knock out host Ghana 2-1. So we saw all of this. These guys are very ready. So in the 2024 African Cup of All Nations that we saw, Nigeria, the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Ivorians, the Elephant of Ivory Coast, traded tackle in the final, where Nigeria was defeated 2-1. Now, will the Flying Eagles try to do what the senior team couldn't do, or will there be a repeat of Nigeria also being defeated by an Ivory Coast team for the second time in the final? Will this happen? Will Coach Zubairu and his squad permit this to happen? We will find out. We'll see how all of that will pan out. But still, we'll see what the Super Falcons, the Flying Eagles will need to unlock some stuffs that we haven't seen throughout this competition, and make sure they get the last laugh and get themselves ahead of Ivory Coast by taking every decision. We saw earlier that they had also concerns and issues around being clinical in front of goal and scoring goals, which has always been a concern for them. But let's see how all of these will pan out, if corrections have been made and if they will go ahead and make Nigeria proud. We'll be going on a quick break, and then when we return back, we'll talk quickly around NBA Summer League and talk about transfers quickly before trades, actually quickly before we call it a day on today's edition of Talk Sports. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Yes, many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining, this is still Talk Sport, and you've missed the first 75 minutes of the action. So we're about, getting to the final lap as we are set to talk NBA Summer League now, as lots of rookies are seeking to get playing time. We saw Atlanta and Bolton Celtics traded tackle, but Bolton Celtics took a commanding 101-80 victory over the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA Summer League Coalition game at Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. This happened just over a couple of hours ago. Both squads played with makeshift rosters in the final Summer League contest, and the Celtics definitely looked like the more invested team throughout all the four quarters. Boston already crowned a 27-20 lead after the first quarter, which was also the only quarter where Atlanta was ahead a bet by a mere 2 points. So looking at this now, the Summer League is more like the preseason in the EPL. We know that Arsenal has traveled all the way to Singapore for their preseason tour. And again, Arsenal, talking about Arsenal finally landed Gyökeres, and I have some Arsenal fans trying to talk to me, trying to talk down to our Chelsea fans and said that they will be winning a trophy at the end of the 2025-2026 season. This is something I'm used to hearing from Arsenal fans, but let's see how it will pan out, because to the best of my knowledge, for the past 2 decades, Arsenal hasn't really won anything, like really won anything. But now, let's see how the mix of Victor Gyökeres would affect the team positively, and also the likes of other players too that Mikel Arteta is looking to adopt from Chelsea. I will see how that squad would help him win a championship and move away from finishing at top 4 every year. So let's see how all of that will pan out. But now let's talk NBA Summer League, as it's currently ongoing, and then transfer trades are ongoing, because we're hearing rumors now reaching us that Giannis Antetokounmpo might be finding himself in the Golden State Warriors, and LeBron James will be traded to Dallas, or he will be traded to Cleveland, Ohio, which is his home state. But now his son Bronny James is currently playing in the Lakers. This is his 2nd year in the NBA, and he's looking very healthy, and he's more like he's on 100% now, because he takes off and dunks everything he feels like dunking, and shoots from mid-range and also shoots from the perimeter. It shows how healthy and how good he is, how good he's getting and getting to the mix. Then the question was thrown at him: what do you think about your dad, who is his teammate, plan on moving or being traded away from Los Angeles Lakers? He says in his words that he doesn't even disturb himself with all of that, that he's just more focused on improving himself and getting better and helping his team win. That whoever that will be traded, he respects the organization's decision and he respects the person's decision if the person wants to be traded. But for him personally, he's more focused on helping his teammates get better and also helping the Lakers win. So we'll see how all of that will pan out. So let's still talking Summer League. Boston Celtics defeated Atlanta Hawks 101-80 in one of the matches that they played ahead of the preparation. Now, why do Summer League happen? One, to get players fit, and also for the rookies now and those that don't have so much playing time, this is a time for them to show themselves and also prove that they can be in the team and also carry the team when time is required. So we'll see how all of this will pan out for these individuals as they are getting themselves ready ahead of the season that will be coming up at the end of September or the first week of October. So that's all we can take today on today's edition of TalkSport. But before we go, as always, I'll leave you with the highlights between Atlanta Hawks and Boston Celtics. Here are the highlights. My name is Samuel Odi. I'll see you again as we talk more sports. Bye for now.
And we're ready to tip here.